Welcome to Everything Weapons with David Cooper and Dalen Savage on 1510 WLAC. From buying a gun, ammo, and gun safety, David and Dalen can point you in the right direction by calling 615-737-WLAC or 1-800-688-WLAC. Now, here they are, the experts behind Everything Weapons. Everything Weapons. David Cooper and Dalen Savage.
Welcome to Everything Weapons Hour, formerly Firearms Today. We're so excited to be on WLAC 1510 AM, home of Rush, Hannity, Dave Ramsey, and now us as well. Wanted to really just say we're so happy to be here today. This is, I think, our first show in for 3 months? Yeah. So new home, excellent. At some point, we'll be in the evening slot, which will be fantastic. That'll put us into 26 states. For right now, we are here, and we have a fantastic guest on air right now. We have Andrew from Barnes Precision Machine. Andrew, how are you, sir?
Hey, how you doing today?
We're doing fantastic. We found your website, your company. We looked at all the stuff that you've got. We are just amazed that you can put together a gun the way you do at the price that you do. We wanted to just kind of follow up as a new dealer for you as well, and being able to understand, tell Nashville about your product. What is it that makes your product as good as what it is? Maybe starting from the lower, the machining, how much of the work you guys do yourselves. What do you got?
Well, we're a contract machine company. Traditionally, in this industry, the firearms industry, specifically the AR-15 industry, there is a lot of contract manufacturers involved, from the mom-and-pop operations to the corporate-sized operations that provide everything from small parts to the furniture, stocks, grips, magazines, flip-up sights. So having, a little bit of background in the OEM parts manufacturing, we have 31 CNC machines at Barnes Precision. I'm 46 years old. I've been a machinist since I was 17. I've been shooting a Colt Ep1 since I was 14 years old. Our familiarization with the platform from a manufacturing standpoint, as well as a shooter, many of the folks in our staff have either competition shooting, military, as well as a considerable manufacturing background. So it's a well-balanced, organization as far as that goes. And that, of course, gives us the ability to, engineer manufacturability into components that we design, in the innovative refinements to the tactical carbine, as we call it, and with our machine technology and, stable of CNC machines, specifically CNC Swiss lathes, CNC machining centers, it gives us a really, cutting edge to where, as an OEM parts manufacturer, hopefully as a profitable business, you're making $1 machining parts.
So
as
you're
a
selling
manufacturer or assembler, then you make another margin, and you can look people in the eye and say, hey, you're getting a good quality product for a fair margin with no corners being cut. It's just the traditional method of being a rifle manufacturer that buys parts and assembles something, they inevitably deal with a higher markup.
Right. So you're making most of the products yourself.
About 90% of the weapon is machined in-house in our, state-of-the-art North Carolina facility.
That's fantastic. And you're doing mostly billet lowers, or you do a mix of forged and billet?
Well, for our 223, 556 line, we've always used 70-75 mil-spec forgings from several different forging suppliers to the industry. For the 308 platform, it was harder to source forging blanks that aren't as available as 223, 556 lowers are. So we decided to go with the billet process, which it's a little bit longer machining time, but the end result is worth it, especially availability-wise. You can buy all the 70-75 blocks of aluminum you want, even when you can't source a 70-75 308 size forging.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, I really think the 308 market is really exploding right now because there's so many more choices available than what there were a few years back. everybody focused almost solely on the 5.56 market, and 308 kind of got left behind a little bit. But now I think everybody's coming out with a really good 308, but so few people are going to sell 308 lowers, strip lowers, or complete lowers to allow that individual customer to customize in the way they want.
A complete build up on it.
Yeah, because most people are stuck buying a 308 off the shelf and not being able to build it like you would a 5.56.
And Andrew, you hit on something that I really like to hear too. The fact that you guys are shooters. You don't really see that in the industry a lot. You'll see a lot of the money men and stuff like that, but the fact that you guys are shooters, I think, really translates over into how good of a product you have.
Well, I appreciate that recognition. We were at a match one time, a national, event, and, someone came up and said, wow, how many companies do you see? And it was a military guy. Mm-hmm. And he said, how many companies do you see where I'm not so sure I'm used to the term CEO president, but I guess that's what I am. I've been a machinist in a one-man operation to a 31 CNC machine, 45 employee, 3-shift-a-day operation. So if I have to wear that hat, okay.
Yeah.
But as they said, we don't see the CEO of a company coming out here and laying down in the prone in the mud and shooting with us in some nasty ass muddy 3-gun match.
Yeah.
Right.
And, I was quite, to be honest, I took it as a compliment. Being the caliber of guy this guy was for our military, and there's many law enforcement, military, security personnel that we shoot with in competition, and that we're also very, very fortunate to get to do some, real world type training with. And they have given me props that we do take input from them and that user community when it comes to implementing features on the gun. Everybody knows an AR-15 since about 1957, when Eugene Stoner designed that platform, has for the most part remained the same. Mm-hmm. There has been some evolution and modularity, if you will, in the design since the Picatinny rail on the M4 and the modular rail systems that are very, very popular, and there are many different styles. But for instance, our long barrel nut design, many companies that I won't say that are major names are following the design of our barrel nut, and it's the only way you can get rigidity of a long free float handguard system. Mm-hmm. You just can't get enough purchase on a short GI barrel nut to get that handguard rigid. So, now that we've been doing it since 2008, we see a lot of companies following suit and getting that rigidity. The longer you go with the handguard, the more linear forces that are placed on it. You got to have that rigidity from the barrel nut, and that's what we see as a popular thing. And I guess they say that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. I can take it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't blame you, man.
That sounds fantastic. So I wanted to kind of ask a few questions about on your manufacturing side. Are you making your own triggers and then go from there?
No, we source our trigger groups for our duty weapons and our commercial carbines. We're sourcing trigger groups from commercial, trigger manufacturers.
Mil-spec
Schmidt
providers.
Tools. Yes, Schmidt Tools, for example. Family-owned and operated business, top-quality components. But, man, they service Colt, FN, and some of the largest people in the industry, and to drop a name or two. So they're acceptable quality for us any day. Now, when it comes to competition or aftermarket triggers, Hyperfire, Geisley are the two options that we currently offer. Of course, there are other brand names out there, AR Gold, for example, that have also been recommended by some folks. So we try to follow the example and advice of our customers.
That's fantastic. Now, Andrew, we're going to go to commercial here for a minute or two, and when we get back, we'll talk about some other areas of your firearm. Thank you very much, and everybody, please hang in. We'll see you after the break. Welcome back to our old radio show, right? Firearms Today. So welcome back to the Everything Weapons Hour. Andrew, I wanted to get in and kind of ask you a little bit. You mentioned about your handguards. Obviously you guys are making all your own handguards, and do you prefer a shorter handguard, a longer handguard, a thicker handguard, a thinner handguard? What about that product makes yours great, or what do you personally like the best when you're shooting?
Well, gosh, I'm going to drop a name or two here in this next, explanation of that, but I like a lot of three-gun shooters, competitive shooters, as well as the tactical community, and the modularity and evolution that we discussed on the AR platform, where it's gone. The low-profile handguard systems, I hate to say it, but the cheese grater, is kind of dead. The original quad rail style systems just don't offer as much flexibility for the tactical user, and definitely not the competition user when it comes to free-floating the barrel with the handguard system. We all know that free-floating the barrel gives you a lot of advantage in accuracy potential, but when it comes to accessorizing the rifle from a tactical standpoint or a competitive standpoint, I think it's done a lot easier with the low-profile designs. Again, I do feel like that there is some quality companies out there putting out innovative product, but I also think that we're a leader in that design of slim-line, low-profile handguard designs with a modular, flexibility of putting rail sections, for example, when and where you want.
Right. No more A2 post with that big block on there.
Yeah. Running low-profile gas blocks, getting a longer, let's say a 14.5-inch handguard system on a 16-inch rifle, it's all about sight radius now. You want to shoot a pistol or you want to shoot a rifle? Most of the time I want to shoot a rifle.
Yeah, right.
So get that sight radius out there, and when you have to transition to the pistol, you got a 4-unit, 5-6-inch sight radius, and you deal with it.
Yeah, one of the things I noticed when I was younger, and I would always watch, like those shows like the William Shatner emergency show, whatever it was, the beginning of the... some of these different ones are emergency room things. You see people walk in on their own 2 feet when they're shot with a handgun, and they walk out like 2 hours later, on the same show. It's like, well, this is like 10:05 and he's leaving. Yep. You don't see that with rifle rounds. No. Right?
Exactly.
So
handguns are notoriously bad man stoppers.
CQB rifle has been extremely accepted, but now the AR CQB pistol is extremely popular. So the AR pistol lines that are out, our 7.5-inch, 11.5-inch pistols, and the SIG arm brace has definitely been a surge in that type of product lately.
What do you think about 300 blackout? Because, for example, I have kids that are 6 and 8 years old, so I wouldn't use a shotgun in my house because the sound has nowhere to go. It folds over on itself and probably blow their eardrums out. So I use 300 blackout with a suppressor on a 10-inch as my in-home defense weapon. What do you think about stuff like that, or even 300 blackout overall?
Well, anytime you can suppress something, it's an ideal situation. And, of course, traditionally, the vision of the steely-eyed killer, because you've got a can on your rifle, is the first thing that's thought of, when instead they should be thinking just like eye protection, hearing protection. Municipalities, for example, should be sold on the idea to invest in them, not because they're going to have SWAT teams and SR teams going out raiding drug houses at night, but because when their officers employ them in town, downtown, at a bank robbery scene, and someone's crossing the street with a baby carriage, nobody goes deaf when a shot or two is fired. They're called suppressors for a reason, and you're citing an excellent example as to why that would be a good choice. Mobility-wise, get it shortened up so the length of the can doesn't hinder movement through doorways, down the hall, things like that. I can't deny that is an excellent choice for what you're talking about.
Do you like 300 blackout in hunting? Do you like it as a range target round? Or I don't know if you're a 300 blackout fan.
Wow, I guess I can't deny, again, those that know us and grew up with us know that we've got a lot of deer in this part of the country in North Carolina, and we've done everything from a lot of hunting since my first AR when I was 14 and my first RCBS reloading kit. So the advancement of a 300 blackout for deer hunting, to me, has been an awesome option. So for the last couple of years, it has been my go-to personal choice for the smaller eastern whitetail we have. Would I go to Alberta, Canada, and hunt trophy whitetail with one? Maybe not. But application-wise, for the size whitetail we have in this part of the country, it is an excellent choice, just like a 30-30 would be. And they're very, very similar ballistics. So, yes, I'm a big fan when it comes to whitetail. Pigs, it's a no-brainer. There's a lot of talk on the 300 blackout from Texas to the Carolinas on hog hunting with that caliber, but I don't think you're going to have anybody argue that fact.
Yeah, we've actually got a lot of hog hunters in this area that have they've had great success with that round. So we've kind of seen a surge in it. You know, we had 5.56 and we had 6.8. 6.8's kind of died out a little bit, and then now we've got this huge resurgence of 300 blackout, and I don't know. I personally think it's a great round.
J.D. Jones, the 300 Whisper. Obviously, we all know that's where it came from. Super, innovative guy and very, very well-respected man. The fact that it's now in the SAMI spec approved, 300 blackout trademark. I think that there has been a considerable amount of research and design on components put into it, and I think that's going to do the public, the consumer, a lot of good. But I do think that it's going to continue to grow in popularity because at the end of the day, you can pick up 223, 5.56 brass off the ground and recycle it.
Absolutely.
Into something. So, that's a good option to have.
So do you prefer, and I know your situation's a little different, a lot of our customers that come into Everything Weapons, would rather have two uppers, a 5.56 upper and a 300 blackout upper, and just push two pins and drop the new one on. Are you a bigger fan of that or changing out barrels?
Oh my gosh. I'd say, from a maintenance standpoint, the only time the handguard and the gas block should have to come off is when you're replacing that gas tube. It's one of the most overlooked maintenance chores, and I know I'm digressing in a way, but inspecting the gas tube nipple in the gas system so that you don't get leakage to the gas key on the on the bolt carrier is a very important maintenance chore, and it's often overlooked until it's too late. Your gas tube's worn down on the nipple, you're experiencing blow-by, and you've got to replace the gas tube. Unless that happens, there's really no reason to remove the handguard system or get down to that far, especially to change a caliber or to go that far and remove the barrel nut when you could just swap out an upper with two pins. Wow.
Yeah, that's what we tell everybody to do.
I would say I hate to say it, a no-brainer. And the maintenance and the chore, I think, far over exceeds the cost.
Yeah, that's definitely I think smarter, not harder.
Yeah, if you want to make it easy, save dollars, well, use the same charge and handle the same bolt carrier group. No problem whatsoever.
Same magazines.
Yeah.
Don't go to 6.8.
Well, I mean, that's another thing to talk about. It's no secret that there have been people to experience a duh moment where they shoved a 300 blackout round in a 223 chambered weapon, thought that they had an issue chambering a 223 round, pounded on the forward assist, forced the bullet back in the case, and whoops, we have a problem here. Now the bolt's in battery, and this thing will ignite, causing a problem. So marking your ammunition, putting it in color-coded magazines, i.e., put your 223 in, tan mags and put your 300 blackout in black mags or whatever.
Yeah. I tape the bottom of my mags so that if I'm opening up my safe in the middle of the night, I can just feel and I know exactly which is which.
But at the end of the day, it's the end user, operator's responsibility to visually inspect and know what you're putting in your weapon. And if you have a situation like, a bolt going into battery, the correct, operation is not to pound on the forward assist until it goes into battery. It's to check out why it's not going into battery first.
Right.
So, this is discussion and will continue to be discussion, but I think it warrants, discussion as well.
So let's say you are a brand new person into the AR market, and we as the salespeople, we're going to be presenting your firearm, and now that customer has purchased your firearm, walk through the steps with your gun that you would go through in preparing that rifle for getting ready to fire. Because I've seen a lot of people that come in and they say, well, I know how to shoot and I've been a shooter forever, and then they shoot the gun without lubing anything up, or, they have a piston gun versus a gas gun, and they don't sometimes understand the crossovers and how to do things differently.
Well, I would say it's a very, very reliable system. The gas impingement system, as it's been called jokingly, the system that throws up on itself, I think is more correctly, described by Eugene Stoner as a self-cleaning auto-loading rifle. The self-cleaning happens when the bolt carrier group is cleaned by jet-hot gases as it reciprocates rearward into the buffer system, blowing off everything from the rails that the bolt carrier rides on, the 4 points that make contact with the ID of the upper receiver, as well as the cam pin and the lug area. The best way to get a gun running that's crunchy with dirt and debris in the lug area is to fire the weapon. So if you can get the bolt closed, knowing that it's an issue with dirt and debris, a lot of times firing the weapon will actually clean out that area and get the weapon back running. Now, if you're describing what the steps are in a new rifle out of a box, first thing, whether it's a BB gun or a shotgun or a pistol, I would inspect the bore. Make sure there's no packing material, obstructions, paper, foam from the gun case, anything like that obstructing the bore. Run a bore snake or a patch through it just to clear any possible obstruction. At that point, lubing the bolt carrier group, the gas rings, the cam pin, the lugs of the bolt is all you should need to do to get the gun in a condition for a break-in period. Following any common AR-15 user's manual, from an armorer's manual to a field manual, all that information is going to be similar and the same.
How long is it to break in your rifle, do you think?
Well, breaking in from the barrel standpoint, we're purchasing a Montana blank from Montana Rifle Barrel Company. They have a process that they adhere to that is a heat treat, stress relieve. Then they bring back into their plant and hand lap the bore. That hand lap and polishing negates break-in that would usually be experienced with a lot of precision bolt guns in the past that we've seen, and we've had customers tell us that the first 20 shots out of the gun, they're achieving sub-MOA, half MOA accuracy with no break-in period. So I would think that process alone, the hand lap and polish after the heat treat and stress relieve to remove the scale, is a big selling point for Montana's quality in their barrel blanks.
That's fantastic. Andrew, we're going to go to another commercial here for a couple minutes, and when we get back, we'd love to talk more about your new 308s. Stick with us, folks. Welcome back to the Everything Weapons Hour. Wanted to give Dalen an opportunity here to ask a few questions on the barrels.
Yeah, Andrew, just sticking with the barrels, what I'd like to know is what do you guys use? Are you guys using, chrome line, melanite, stainless steel barrels, all of the above, and what your thoughts are on that?
Well, specifically for our commercial rifles, our competition rifles, we have always stuck with the stainless steel, very, very high quality Montana barrels. It's no secret that we do OEM manufacturing, and we also provide some military and law enforcement on an OEM and a volume basis with some rifle systems. Those rifles are like a mil-spec M4 are going to be spec'd out with a chrome moly barrel. Now, instead of the traditional chrome moly, hard chrome on the ID, manganese phosphate on the OD, we do have what we think and many other rifle companies think is a far superior, more modern, common, and even cost-effective solution to the hard chrome and the manganese phosphate. Hard chrome on the ID of a bore has always meant a degradation in accuracy, issues with pressure related to consistency of plating thickness, especially when it comes to droplets of plating on the muzzle end of the barrel during that process. However, the salt bath nitride, melanite, or as we use the process nitromet, does a vapor deposition, and that treatment process yields results that don't affect accuracy, don't affect pressure, but yet give you a considerable longevity increase on barrel life. From the bore, the throat area, it conveniently is black in color, a matte finish, so a stainless barrel can be coated with it to increase the life of it and to turn it black, and a chromoly barrel can be coated with it to increase hardness, obviously protect from corrosion, and to give it that same black luster finish.
Okay. What about cold hammer forged barrels? How do you feel about them?
It's a process that some companies have moved to. It's a considerable investment in machinery, and for the benefits that are gained from it, you've got to be doing an extremely high volume of barrels. I know for a fact that there have been some well-known rifle companies that happen to go that route, that it really hurt them financially because they did not have the volume of barrels to support it. And although with that volume, it is an efficient method, quality method of producing a barrel, I think there's a lot of barrels in the world that have been produced with totally acceptable accuracy and quality with traditional gun drilling and broaching.
Gotcha. I'd love to get in on your homepage. You have the BPM LR10 and the CQB10. Let's get into your 308s and really digest them as a product that we're going to be carrying, and customers are going to be able to come in and buy both your 5.56, your 300 blackout, as well as your AR-10s and your 308s, however you'd like to call them, and set differences. Tell us about the product.
Okay, the CQB10 is our 16-inch model of our 308 7.62 rifle. It comes with the collapsible stock, 14.5-inch handguard on a 16-inch barrel. The LR10 is our 20-inch model. Comes with a rifle-length buffer system, PRS stock, or the Magpul Mo rifle stock, 14.5-inch handguard, again on a 20-inch barrel. Both of these are offered with a Michelic-style 308 comp with a 5/8 24 thread or a flash hider. We offer the Geisley G2S trigger with that, as well as the ability to go from multiple magazines that are currently offered by the commercial market. The SR25 M110 mag is the only true mil-spec mag out there for a 308 platform. However, there are manufacturers that have produced lowers that are iffy to non-functional with different brands of magazines because of their geometry, dimensional size, etc. So we've put a lot of work in the development and establishment of a dimension for the magwell itself that enables you to use a Lancer, Magpul first generation, second generation, or Magpul third generation, current production, as well as the Knight Armament Company SR25 M110 magazine.
Awesome. Yeah, that seems to be an issue I've seen, especially on I won't name any of the names of the companies, but
been a couple that killed themselves by being single mag and they're only their mag.
Yeah, the proprietary mag deal game doesn't work. Not for me.
People should have learned that from the computer industry.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. If you make something that only fits yourself, you're going to have a hard time gathering customers and keeping them. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the whole popularity with the AR-15. Is you can put whatever on it you want, and
it's adult Legos.
Exactly.
You can do whatever you want to it.
So, for your business, is it something where the customer can only buy your complete rifle, or will be able to carry all of your different components and parts and have customers build their own rifles?
223-5556. Traditionally, we've done a lot of parts manufacture for the industry, and it's been no problem just to get down to the nitty-gritty of it. It's been no problem to also be able to supply the customer base with their build-your-own parts, kits, and accessories. However, the lowers obviously always have to be transferred through an FFL. Even if you're ordering parts off a website, you're always going to have to transfer the lower. We all know that.
Right.
With the 308 platform, we definitely want to supply the industry with components, which helps us on the manufacturing side of keeping staff busy and keeping that business profitable when rifle sales might not be necessarily up. So part sales on bolt carrier groups, bolt components, things like that are going to be the first thing that are available to the public for use on their build kits. However, lowers and uppers and barrels are going to be the items that are the hardest for us to get out at the moment because of our current backlog of rifles that we need to get out to customers as far as built 308 rifles. And I don't think that's any different than a lot of business models out there when the product's brand new or introduced.
Right.
As we go down the road, we'll definitely have uppers and lowers for the 308 available for purchase.
Fantastic. Because we as a store, I think, I'm not sure, I haven't seen other stores lately, but when we put in our AR Build Center, I think we were the only ones, probably in at least Middle Tennessee, if not a larger area, that had a dedicated area of the store for every single possible component, shim, whatever it may be for an AR. We had that component. So if someone was doing a build or a clean and they popped a spring or a detent or something, we had it as a replacement part for them so that they didn't have to go to Brownells or somebody and, spend $12 in shipping for a 50-cent part.
And it's been really nice for me too, because there's probably 50,000 detents in my house that I've fired across the living room or something like that.
Clean the vacuum cleaner down.
No, I'll have a lot more for us to sell if I ever find them. So
yeah, we're really a big believer in supporting that home builder and the person that really wants to understand the construction of their gun, because a lot of people buy that rifle and they don't really do much with it. Maybe they shoot it once in a while, and then all of a sudden 2 years later they come in and they're like, I've really been thinking I want to get in and understand more about what I have, because of whether it's the world blowing up or just them wanting a hobby with their son or daughter. To be able to get in and really get an understanding of that rifle from base to the finish, we see more and more customers wanting to do that. Mm-hmm. Are you right now? Are you currently shipping the 308, or is it still just in the build?
Actually, we have just received lowers back from the anodizer. We've got a lot of uppers built up at the moment. We'll be assembling lowers, kitting these up in cases, and shipping these out within the next 2 weeks.
All right, that's
awesome.
Fantastic, because I know our customers are going to probably want some of those guns. I know we will.
Yeah, definitely.
Wanted to see if there's anything about what you guys do as a process, as a people, that you want the people in Nashville to understand about you guys. We're going to be coming up on a time where we're getting a little short, so I want to make sure we get in. This is a show about you. We want to make everything always clear to our customers. Our goal is to go out and find great companies and bring them to Nashville and allow Nashville to hear about them and have a chance to listen and talk to founders, builders, engineers of the business. We don't get paid for this. We're not paying you for this. This is something that we think is just important for the gun public to be able to have access to. We have the NRA show going on right now, and there's a lot of people driving in their cars getting ready to go out to the show that are listening right now. And we really want to be able to say, what is it about your company that's important that they should know?
Well, as we all know, especially in the internet age, the consumer is more educated than ever before. Going to tech school and learning about machining and technology and learning the nuts and bolts, if you will, of the AR-15 platform definitely told me that it was a good business to be in from a parts production standpoint. But letting people know that quality parts and USA manufacturing goes hand in hand. So traditionally, we all have seen in the past some offshore manufacturing done from everything involved with recreation, including recreational shooting sports. So I ask that people pay attention when they're purchasing, whether it's our brand or someone else's, that that company strictly adheres to, if at all possible, those domestic purchasing policies, i.e. raw materials, steel, aluminum, components used on the weapon. That says a lot for where the company's at and what they do to support American manufacturing.
Yeah, I think that is vital because I spent 20 years as a financial advisor or stockbroker, and looking at what's happened to our economy over that 20-year period, the stock market's up a lot, but at the same time, we look at, how many people we have unemployed, how many people are on food stamps, the amount of people with government assistance, and we really want to make sure that we're supporting the American manufacturer and companies like yourself that believe in having all products that are possible to be bought from base to finish in America. Andrew, we really wanted to say thank you for coming on today and allowing us an opportunity to get to know you, have Nashville get to know your company. One request we're going to make is we went on this morning and we're not on your dealer locator yet. Please get us on your dealer locator. We did our first order with Barnes Precision several weeks ago, and that's how we found them and wanted Andrew to come on air. So we'll be excited when our Barnes Precision machine products and parts start coming in. And Andrew, we'd love it one day if we could work out a time for you to even come out to Nashville, do a shoot at our shooting range, talk to customers, be at our AR Build Center and allow people to really get to know you and your products. I don't know. What do you say? You want to take a trip to Nashville one day?
That's awesome. My family does have a connection with the state of Tennessee. My mother and my grandmother, the Forbes family, Cross family, and the Kingsport, Johnson City area. So I look forward to visiting with you guys someday.
Fantastic,
awesome,
Andrew. We really appreciate you coming on air. Thank you so much.
Thanks, sir.
Welcome back to Everything Weapons Hour, formerly Firearms Today. Like I said, we are so excited to be on WLAC. I know this week we've got the NRA show here today wrapping up this afternoon. I went Friday morning. I figured it was good to get there early. I worked in downtown Nashville, and I didn't want to have to fight the traffic, and I also got to park for free. So I didn't want to spend $20 to park. I thought it was a great show. I thought we had just a tremendous opportunity to see a lot of factories that, again, same with the goal of our show, being able to get people in front of the general public and having that general public have an opportunity to talk to factory reps or to engineers or to founders of the business and really get in and understand questions much better, because when you are doing just a gun review, it's different than hearing why the company does what they do and being able to ask a question, well, why this instead of that? And getting that answer instead of, well, I don't know, I've never talked to the company about it.
Yeah. And, I think it was a great turnout. I was there yesterday.
It must have been packed.
You couldn't move. I mean,
I heard you found my wife in the crowd, though.
Somehow I found your tiny little wife in the crowd. But no, a lot of people get hung up on the whole, like, oh, I want to go to SHOT Show in Las Vegas and all that. What people really need to understand is SHOT Show is more tailored toward dealers. It's companies peddling their product to the dealers to get to the masses.
For an individual
NRA show
customer.
is for you guys.
Yeah.
That's a consumer-driven show right there. That's for you guys. That's for you guys to go talk to the factories, ask all the questions you want to ask, and they're more than willing to talk to you.
And they've got some fantastic guns there.
Oh, yeah.
I was at the LWRC booth. They've got a brand new I wouldn't call it a giveaway, but when you buy one of the LWRC rifles, and we carry them, so you can buy those rifles from us, you get a free aim point.
Yeah, so, T1.
I mean, that's unbelievable.
$700 right there.
My God. So I know I'm going to buy like 5 LWRCs now.
And you see the new FN? Mm-hmm. The new FN 249 they have there. I mean,
there's some just unbelievable guns. So if you guys haven't gone out to the NRA show, I got to tell you, get to the show. I think you'll have a great time. And then when you're done with the show, come back to Everything Weapons, buy the guns from us, shoot at our indoor shooting range. We've got some unbelievable pricing on guns right now. And one of the things we've moved is to, buying kind of a package, more like a McDonald's value meal, but much better quality than a McDonald's value meal. And I think our guns taste better too. Yeah. So if you're looking at, a Smith & Wesson's M&P 15 Sport, $759.99. I've got 35 rifles at that price.
The M&P Sport?
M&P Sport.
Not $759.
Oh, $579. $579. That's even better. I said the wrong price.
$200 less.
Dalen, thanks, man.
Yeah, man.
Sometimes I make mistakes, and I'm the first to admit it. I think my wife likes that. But anyway, looking at that Sport is fantastic. When you buy the gun or any gun in the store, you get a free day at the shooting range. But if you buy a package, you get a month free, unlimited shooting at the range.
Yeah, I mean, that's killer.
Let's say you buy a Smith & Wesson Shield.
Yeah.
And I know the right price is $399.99.
Yeah, you got it.
I think that's probably the best price in town. I know other places are selling it as high as $449.99. So when you buy it from us, and if you buy 10 boxes of range rounds, you get a free month at the shooting range. Or if it's your first gun and you buy 3 boxes of range rounds, a box of hollow points, a bore snake for cleaning out your barrel, little CLP of whichever brand, and we carry many, and we've had some on our radio show previously, say Frog Lube, for example. Mm-hmm. And if you need the holster, you get a free month at the shooting range. So that month range pass is worth $50.
Yeah.
So I just think it's a fantastic opportunity to get a chance to go out, and once you buy that gun, to shoot it like crazy and really get to understand that gun, especially if it's a carry gun, really get comfortable with it and make sure that you're carrying it right, you're drawing it right, you've practiced, racking it, and you've got, whether it's A-Zoom snap caps in there, something like that, to be able to go in and make sure that you're comfortable with that gun and you can shoot an unlimited amount of rounds on that range.
We're open 7 days a week. You can't beat that.
Is there another store right in this area in Williamson County that's 7 days besides like a Walmart?
Nope.
And
I don't think so.
We try and carry a lot of different products in Walmart. So, we don't carry like your Hoppies, what's it, number 9 that'll clear out the house, and your wife will kill you, for doing that, because she's got to open every single window, and when it's freezing out, it's not that nice.
Yeah, they get a little upset about that. So,
but we got Frog Lube and other brands that will allow you to open that up, and it's an all-natural product, and it won't hurt anything, and your wife's happy about it.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're always making changes over at Everything Weapons, always trying to bring you the best price, the best staff, new and different products on the market, like Barnes Precision. Mm-hmm. LWRC is a new brand. Black Rain is a new brand. We've enhanced our AR build center. We've got a tremendous amount of suppressors. Dalen, I think we've got some great deals right now.
Yeah, I mean, we've got the Yankee Hill suppressors at cost.
Cost?
Cost.
Are you kidding me?
No. I'm making sure you're not losing money. But,
thank God.
Yankee Hill suppressors at cost, Surefire suppressors at cost.
Wow.
And that's a great option, especially if you're looking, for a home defense weapon, that you're not going to blow your eardrums out with.
5.56 suppressor from Surefire at cost.
Yeah, my wife, I always keep my electronic hearing protection beside my pistol in my bedroom. She's like, "What have you done that for?" I'm like, "Well, have you ever shot a gun in a house?"
Yeah, that sound folding over on itself is unbelievable.
You don't realize exactly how loud they are until you've actually done it.
That's why I'm a big believer in the 300 blackout with the suppressor.
It's a fantastic round.
I'm not going to yell down the hall and say, "Hey, Kiana, Alvin, put on your hearing protection."
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I'm going to sit there and know I can fire how many ever rounds I need to get that bad guy, and I'm not going to hurt my kids.
That's right.
Or myself.
Yeah.
I don't want to go deaf.
No.
I've had 11 surgeries in 5 years. I'm done.
Not enough, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Let that be the last one. We're going to continue to bring you new guests every single week. Every once in a while, it's just going to be Dalen and I talking. But we think it's really important to attach the products that are being made out there in the industry to the individual retail consumer. Mm-hmm. We want to bring you guys together and allow an opportunity for you to call in on the show and connect with that person that we have as a guest and allow them to come out and shoot at our range, have you guys get to know them. We're going to have different kinds of parts companies on. So I think we'll wind up with a Mariglow coming out, maybe have CNC triggers on. We'll have possibly LWRC and other brands coming on air to talk to you guys. And when we're lucky enough, we'll get them out in store. I know June 6th, we have a Glock Day, shooting at our range, the brand new Glock 43 at our shooting range. We'll have 4 or 5 of those guns probably, no less than 3, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at night, and you guys will be able to shoot that brand new 43. We also have a list going. So come into Everything Weapons main store on Moores Lane, 7061 Moores Lane, the corner of General George Patton and Moores Lane. Put your name on the list for the 43. I know we've got our first law enforcement one coming in Tuesday.
And going out probably Tuesday.
Yes. So, I think one of two police officers are going to be winding up with that one. But we think it's really important to provide law enforcement guns. We do the Glock Blue Label program. We do Smith & Wesson for military. And, we just met a new wholesaler we'll have Sig Sauer and Smith & Wesson for police. Yeah. So brand new thing. I'm just telling you right now.
Well, I appreciate it.
P226s and 229s at unbelievable pricing for law enforcement.
And, going back to, this show and the reason why we do it, David and I both, we do a lot of research and everything on the products that we bring in, and we talk to the reps and everything, but we want you guys to be able to call in, talk to the reps yourself, get all of the answers that you guys are looking for. And, because it's one thing to hear it from us. It's another thing to hear it directly from the factory. And we don't care. Ask the hard questions. That's what we bring them on for.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is if we don't have the answer, we'll call the factory and we'll get the answer for you.
They probably hate us a little bit, but
we're not
find
the right
answer.
An answer just to give you an answer. It's not about trying to get you in the store to put any product in your hand. There's a lot of products that we refuse to carry. I have wholesalers call me every day and say, will you take an X or a Y or a Z? And I tell them no every single time. It's our job to filter through the junk and only bring good quality products that we can look you in the eye and say, this is for you. I believe in this product. I know it will work when you need it. If it's a carry gun, I know that shield or that now the Glock 43 will work when you need it to work.
Exactly.
So I think that's super, super important is our willingness to do the work and make sure of what we're doing, not just buy every single product that's made and look at you and tell you it's good. Come into Everything Weapons, see Dalen and I, come shoot at our range, and we'll be here every single Sunday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., bringing you the best in the firearms industry and a little bit of politics, too. Thanks, guys. We appreciate it. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.